Good morning, welcome to the vlog. I'm Tova and this is Elin and we are ParentXP. A question that a lot of people have asked and that I myself have asked a lot of times is, now that Elin has her Mickey button, is school going to take over feeding her lunch? If you have been following my family for a while, you probably already know this, but for anybody who's new to the channel, let me just give you a quick recap on what's been going on so that you are with me. And also, if you are new to this channel and you're not yet a subscriber, then please hit the subscribe button and keep following along on this journey. Elin has quadriplegic cerebral palsy. Her birth went very wrong. She opened her bowels inside of me, inhaled that, it's called meconium aspiration, which meant that for about 10 minutes after birth, she was completely without oxygen because she wasn't able to breathe and there wasn't any blood flow to her lungs. So she has quite extensive brain injuries because of this, and they show up in lots of different interesting ways, and part of it is that her whole gastric system is very much not working as we would like it to do. So Elin now has a feeding tube. When she was a baby, she was breastfed. When she was little, she actually ate orally, but she was never able to eat enough to keep her weight at a level where it needed to be. She got rubber stamped with failure to thrive. We had to accept a feeding tube, and she started with the kind of feeding tube that's called a PEG, which is quite a narrow tube that sits anchored inside the stomach. And she was on formula, which she didn't tolerate at all, regardless of which formula we went on. She was just vomiting and vomiting and vomiting, and she was still failing to thrive. And in the end, her gastroenterologist said, you can try a blended diet, or we're going to do a big operation where we put in a jejunum tube, so this is a feeding tube into her intestines, as well as do a Nissen fundoplication, which is where they twist the stomach mouth so you can't vomit. And if we can try a non-surgical route before we try a surgical route, we are always going to do this. I say we, I mean Elin's dad and I. We are not together, but we still share the care of our girls. So even though she had a PEG, which is not recommended to do a blended diet in, we went ahead and changed her from formula to a blended diet, and suddenly she started tolerating everything we put into her. No, not everything. She was still vomiting a lot. But she tolerated food where she didn't tolerate formula. Her vomiting was less, and slowly but surely her weight started to creep up. But because a PEG is not licensed for a blended diet, we could not get any official support with this. So we were completely on our own, and most importantly, school could legally not give her lunch. So we were given the option of going in every day and giving Elin lunch, or allowing her to be put back on formula and school giving her formula at lunchtime. And it was such a marked difference between formula and real food that Dad and I basically said, no, we'll go in and feed her. And we've been doing that now for a long time, ever since school started opening up again after lockdown. Dad and I have been going in every day to give Elin her lunch. We've obviously been wanting to get official support for this because at the moment we can't access any respite care, and it does take quite a big chunk out of a day to prepare her food and go into school and feed her and then go back home. It breaks everything up. It makes things a bit difficult. And one of the steps to get official support for the blended diet in the community here was to change from PEG to a Mickey button. So before the summer holiday, hey my love, I'm really proud of you. Before the summer holiday, Elin did have surgery to change the PEG for a Mickey button, and we're now about 4 months into having a Mickey button instead, and things are really, really, really changing for Elin, which is just amazing, just amazing. Elin was weighed in June, and she was weighed again in September, actually the two weights, and she was measured too. were exactly 3 months and 2 weeks apart, in which time she had put on 4.2 kilograms and she'd grown 10 centimeters. This is what the Mickey button has done for her, because with the peg being so narrow, all of her feet had to be quite watered down. So it's difficult to get enough of a calorie density when you have... Excuse you? Can I get to do this part, please? Funny, very funny child, yes. Calorie density, when you have to add so much liquid for the feed to go through the tube, is difficult. And the other thing is that now that we can give her thicker feeds, they can actually be the texture of baby food, so a puree rather than a liquid. I think it's just settling in her tummy a bit better. You know when you've drunk too much and you sort of feel almost seasick with that sort of thing going on inside your tummy? I think she must have had that. And certainly is that nowadays she is vomiting significantly less. Significantly less. Yes, you are. I'm very proud of you. Yeah, so she's been putting on a lot of weight. And all of this is fantastic and is positive. But school is still not giving Elin lunch. Dad and I still go in every day and give her lunch now that term has started. And somebody did say, but I thought that now that she had a Mickey button, school would take over. So what's happening? What is happening? Elin's dietitian and I have had a long conversation and we have updated Elin's tube feeding risk assessment. And significant change in that is that the Mickey button is licensed for a blended diet, so that is now on there. If the tube gets blocked, as in the Mickey button tube gets blocked, Dad and I can change it. So, and we always carry a spare. There's a spare sitting underneath Elin's seat in the wheelchair here right now. So those are the two really big changes to her risk assessment. One thing that's in her risk assessment, which I personally think is a bit ridiculous, is the whole risk of weight loss, yada yada, we can't control how many calories go in, And this is not a criticism to her dietitian, who's actually very good, but it's one of these things that she has to put in there, so it's a criticism of the system. I'm criticizing the system, can't trust it. But yeah, so her risk assessment has now been updated. Unfortunately, Bedford Borough is not one of the boroughs that currently support a blended diet. This is a postcode lottery. Depending on where you live in the UK, it's either supported or it is not. Cambridgeshire, extremely positive towards blended diet. Addenbrooke's Hospital, extremely positive towards blended diet. Bedford, not. We're neighbouring boroughs. But there you have it. Or authorities, not neighbouring boroughs, but neighbouring authorities. Mind you, Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire, yes, we are neighbouring. And it all depends on sort of where the borough is at, or the authority is at. The UK Dietetic Society, is this funny? Is this funny? The UK Dietetics, I can't speak. The UK Dietetics Association, there we have it, see I could do it, is now supporting a blended diet. So nationally, blended diet is recognised as something that is actually quite good. But as I say, Bedford, not quite there yet. It's a question of funding, it's a question of having enough staff, it's a question of having training, and it's been promised to our local dietitians team for a long time, but it hasn't happened yet, and in part this is due to COVID. So, Elin's dietitian has done what she can. She has gone in to support us as far as is actually possible for her, which is fantastic. But she can't take it any further. Now it is actually down to Elin's school, and it's down to the respite care providers. So what's happening? Elin's school is on it. They actually want to take over her feeding. They don't want me and Dad coming in every day and disrupting things. They don't want to have to take Elin out of classroom to feed her every lunchtime and then bring her back. It's disrupting things. If they can feed her in class with her friends within the schedule that works for them, it's going to be so much better. They want to take over. The deputy head for complex needs in the school is working on a school risk assessment. Her and I, we have sat down and we've gone through things and we've talked about a lot of stuff, and I'm going to actually do a separate vlog on the risk assessments because I think they're quite interesting. It's a lot of detail. And now she is trying to get policies and documentation from other local authorities where it is supported. This is what she's waiting on right now. Paperwork, documents, policies from places where they know it's working. Because we have nothing in our borough. So now we wait. I spoke to the gastro team at Addenbrooke's. Actually just yesterday called up for an update on how she's doing with her Mickey button, and I'm saying she's doing amazing. Are you doing amazing? Yeah, I am, say, yeah, I am. And the gastroenterologist I spoke with said, I can help provide you with something. I can provide you with a link back to the UK diet. I'm not even going to try and say it again. And also why Addenbrooke's Hospital is supporting it and that we are supporting it. But it's going to take about a week before I get that. I don't know how helpful that will be for school, but anything I can give her, right? I happen to know a little boy who lives in this borough but goes to a different school, and it is supported in that school. So I'm going to get in touch with his parents and ask if they can help out. Even just get us in touch with the dietitian at his school and see if we can get some support. Just anything. And actually, if any of you, a dietitian or school nurse, and you work in a borough where it is supported and you have documentation and policies, and if you are able to share them with Elin's school, could you let me know, please? Because it would just really simplify matters so much if we can do this. And school is then also working with the respite care provider, who again, they want Elin in respite care. They want to take her 2 nights a month and give me and Dad, you know, me or Dad, whoever she's with at the time, a complete break and give Elin a holiday away and things that are just completely focused on her. So school is working with them to share all of this. And that's where we're at. School is not giving Elin food yet, but we are working on it. Steps are being taken, and it is a little frustrating, and I have to sometimes just take a deep breath and remind myself that this is not the only thing that this person in school is working with, and that she's probably really quite rushed off her feet, in fairness, with everything else that's going on. Are you a happy girl this morning? Yeah, you feeling good? Now I'm sure you can see, but yeah, look at this. If I take this off, can you not vomit for a moment, please? She's going, I'm gonna trick you. I'm gonna trick you, little mommy. Let's get you sitting up a bit straighter. Look at her. You can see there's flesh on her. There's legs. She's got a bit of tummy that hangs over her trousers now. I can feel that there's so much more solidity to her. And oh my God, has she grown. Grown. Which reminds me, I need to get in touch with wheelchair services. Hi, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Let me turn her to the side as well. Can you sit up? Up. Good girl. There you are. I mean, she really has put on so much weight in these last few months, and it is amazing. Isn't it amazing? It's working. The Mickey button's working. And the blended diet. Yes. Yeah, so now we just really want school to start feeding her. And saying that, I actually need to get her off to school now, because this is a school morning. So we're gonna stop the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. As I say, a vlog on the risk assessments is coming, and obviously more updates on how we get on with all of this, all coming. I will keep you posted. Thank you for watching. See you again soon. Bye.